What's going on, guys? It's Crozen, and I am back, bitches. No, but anyways, I want to apologize. I know it's been like 2 weeks since I made a video, and I don't ever want it to go that long, but again, I said I was going to be very busy, and indeed, I kind of was. I had a lot of college work going on in this last week and a half, but I should be back in the month of March. Should be a little more consistent. We'll be moving on to newer things, such as the Fallout 4 DLC Let's Play that I kind of went over before, and we'll see how that goes. Again, if I do start to do that Let's Play, that means there's going to be less time for Fallout 4 builds, but again, we'll figure this out in the next couple of weeks and see where this takes us. So going back to this pure charisma build, this build is excellent for those of you who want to be able to pass any different speech check, and also for those of you who want a different combat experience. Now, I also recommend that you use Dogmeat as your main companion with this build. He works out well with charisma users because he has his own little perk, which he can give you another crowd control effect, and he can hold on to enemies and pretty much render them useless throughout the fight. So going more towards crowd control effects, that's what this build perfects at. It's basically one of those builds where you can pretty much pacify anything, and you can have them fight for you and give you a nice little extra companion, if you will, while you are fighting until they die off or until you kill them, whichever one suits your needs. But that is how you're going to play this charisma build. There's a lot of crowd control, and obviously you're going to be a master at speech. So this is how you want your special to look like in creation, and also you want to put that extra point in intelligence. That way you're going to start out with 2 maxed out stats at the very beginning of the game, and that should be pretty fun. And then from there we can go on to the perk tree, where I show you all the perks that you're going to need with this build. Alright, so here we are in the perk chart, and the first thing you will notice is this build caps out at level 52, and we got all the bobbleheads accounted for with this build. Now, the main thing you want to take from this is we start out with 1 perception in the beginning, so we need to find that perception bobblehead early as possible. That way we can get the rifleman perk. So I definitely suggest that you head over to Concord and you make sure that you get that bobblehead right away at level 2 when you leave Sanctuary. That way you can get this rifleman perk early. Now, some of these perks you can already expect out of me. I kind of go with Armorer, I go with Life Giver, I go with Medic, and I go with Bloody Mess on essentially all of my builds, or at least I try to if the points are available to spend. But the main thing that you want to take from this is all the points that I'm putting into charisma and all of these perks that I went ahead and got. Now, the only perks that I left out were Animal Friend and Lone Wanderer, which I can kind of explain why. Basically, we're going to be using Dogmeat, so there is no reason to go with Lone Wanderer. And as far as Animal Friend, I didn't think it was worth it to spend 3 points just to pacify, say, mole rats and dogs and things like that. Those are like the weakest enemies in the game, so I figured I would just leave Animal Friend out. It really wasn't worth 3 points in my opinion. And then from there I kind of went and got all of these other charisma perks for this tree. Now, main thing is attack dog. I did say we were using Dogmeat as our companion, and the main reason is because I went ahead and got this perk. I normally wouldn't have access to this perk if I didn't go with a charisma build. So what attack dog does basically is it gives Dogmeat a nice little crowd control effect where he can hold on to enemies, but it also helps you out in a way as well. You can pretty much have a greater chance to hit enemies while you are in VATS when Dogmeat holds onto an enemy, which is going to be very useful because we don't have a lot of action points with this build. Since we have such a low agility, that's probably one of the weaknesses that this build does create. However, that is why I kind of went with the Party Boy perk. What this will do is it'll make it to where you will not be able to get addicted to alcohol, and the effects of alcohol are doubled. So basically, there's a lot of alcohol in the game that will raise up your action points, and that is why we went ahead and got the Party Boy perk. Like I said, we start out with a low agility and we stay that way for the whole game, so we need to have a little more action points to spend in VATS and also to help us out when we are sprinting, and that is where the Party Boy perk comes in handy. And also that last rank will increase your luck by 3, which will mean that you can recharge your criticals faster while you are in VATS, so that is always going to be useful as well. Now, the pacifying perks that we went ahead and got with this charisma build was the Wasteland Whisperer and the Intimidation perk. Now, these are the perks that you want to kind of get early on in the game. This will make it to where you can pacify all the different powerful wasteland creatures, and also you can pacify and intimidate all different kinds of humans in the game. And also, since we did start out with 10 intelligence, I went ahead and got the Nerd Rage perk. This perk is definitely worth 3 points, and it's another one of those perks that should be essential to get early on in the game. And then that really is it. I kind of went with a chemist and chem resistant kind of combo here as well. And again, I got hacker since you don't want to kind of go without locksmith or hacker. And since we are going in with intelligence, I figured it might as well get hacker that way too. And that is essentially it. So just to recap, guys, the perks that you want to get early with this build is obviously Rifleman. You want to get Life Giver, put maybe a few points into that. That way you start out with a little more health. You want to get Attack Dog, especially that first rank, as early as possible. And then you want to start focusing on, say, Nerd Rage and Intimidation, maybe Wasteland Whisperer, and also you maybe want to put like a point here and there in Hacker. That way you can start hacking some of those greater terminals out there. And that should do it, guys. My voice is killing me, so I will leave you guys with this. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like. And I got a special build coming out, which is sort of like for the new survival mode in Fallout 4, so that should be kind of cool. I'm going to work really hard on that build, and again, we'll see how that goes. And then also the DLC that's coming up, maybe some kind of let's play with that. But I'm going to get out of here, and I will see you guys later. Peace, guys.